Hello, everyone. It's me again.
It's me again.
I have a great honor to introduce to you Cindy Castillo from Madrid, a superstar from Madrid. She's doing amazing festival, Mad Cool Festival. And today we're going to speak with her about everything, like how she got involved in the festival industry, how she started, and how they started with the festival, and how they are doing it now. Because for you who don't know anything about Mad Cool Festival, it's like one of the best festivals in Europe, and they have the best lineups at the festival. And probably there's a much more stories behind it, how to get that kind of lineup and what kind of problems they have in doing organization for such a big festival like a Mad Cool. Thank you, Cindy, for being here in Belgrade. It's your first time here in Belgrade.
Yes.
Well,
thank you for inviting me. That's the first thing. I mean, it is my first time here. And I must say, I think it's a beautiful city with a very nice energy, actually.
Nice, great. Glad to hear that. So can we start like maybe from beginning when you start to work in the music industry and what like actually attract you to be involved in the music industry? How become that you are part of that?
To be honest, I think it was destiny. Because I studied law and I wanted to be a judge.
Nice.
Thank God I didn't, because everyone would be in jail for sure. You know, it would be like, yeah, guilty, guilty. Everyone, you go to jail. But I was like 17 and or 18, and I was in the university, and I had this boyfriend, and he was trying to do electronic music parties. And back then in Spain, no one spoke English, like literally no one. I was a rare case. So he would have to book. He wanted to book DJs, but to do that, he would have to do like 3 different intermediate agents that till someone spoke English and booked the DJs. So I said, this is ridiculous. I speak English. I can do those calls for you. So I started doing those calls back when all the agencies were tiny. So basically, Coda was 2 people. Primary was 2 people.
William Morris
didn't exist. Exactly.
CA didn't exist.
Exactly, yes. So I started doing those calls, and you know, the agents were like, fuck, finally there's someone that speaks English in this country, you know? So basically I started booking DJs, and I remember I used to...
What DJs?
Yeah, I used to book like whatever... Sven Bath, Richie Houghton, Dave Clark, whatever, Marco Carola. And I would book them for 300 euros, you know?
Yes,
now
yes.
it's a bit more, you have to add more zeros in that equation, but yeah. So basically that's how I started. Then from there, obviously the DJ agencies also started working with bands. So we started working with bands too. Then, obviously too, I broke up with my boyfriend.
And you keep the band.
Exactly. So he kept the DJs and I kept the bands. Yes, exactly. And well, that's actually how it all started. But it is true that once this happened, what I really did, my main focus was management and booking. So I started my own company, and I've been managing bands since then, which has been a long time already. And then I started, you know, so
you've been really working with the band on the management side.
Yes, exactly. That was my main thing. Well, that is actually my main, let's say, interest. But in Spain, unlike the rest of Europe, the business is not separated. In the rest of Europe, you have managements on one side and then agents on another side. Spain, no. Spain is like your manager is your agent, your booker, your promoter,
So
your
it's
label.
mixed.
It's mixed, exactly. Because obviously the industry is not that big, therefore it's not enough, there's not enough space, or there wasn't enough space for this, for a separation of duties. So I created my own company, and you know, I started managing a lot of bands and doing their booking, promoting their shows.
I need to ask you because the Spain is like quite big. Did you been doing like the Madrid or the whole Spain?
No, the whole Spain. Yes, when you manage slash book a band in Spain, it's national. Yes. So you organize absolutely everything, and actually bands can do tours of 100 shows per album, which is amazing for a country that is not that big.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
But also I want to ask, like, for example, is it like with us when you have like one show is happening only in one city, or you're big enough to have like one big band playing in a couple of cities? Like, for example, when I do one show, for example, Skrillex in Serbia, our German friends doing 5 shows in Germany because they have cities and they can do like 5 shows while we are doing one show.
Exactly.
So how that work in Spain?
It depends on the artist. National bands can do, as I said, 100 shows in Spain.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter. And international acts depends on the act. Some acts can afford to do, I would say, 3 shows at least in Spain.
Nice.
Yeah, which is good. But then that doesn't really depend on us, because sometimes we would do 3 shows, but most of the agents just don't want them to do 3 shows. And they just go like, no, I just want to do 1 show in Madrid, 1 show in Barcelona, and leave. And it's a shame, because there's other markets, Bilbao, Galicia, Valencia, that you could actually go there and you maybe you're not going to get the fee that you would get for a concert in Madrid or Barcelona, but for sure you will get other things, which is building a broader audience in the country. That mostly depends on the agents, but we do try to make more shows. Yes, so basically that's how I started. I created a company, etc., then management, booking, and then I met Javier, who is the main owner of the festival. And he is just as workaholic as me, I guess, even more. We met each other, and he had this. We had already been doing a different festival in the north of Spain, and then he came with the idea of Mad Cool and said, he just said, Cindy, I would like you to work with me. And I said, no way, I'm not going into the festival industry.
Yeah, but that was before it started?
That was before it started, yes. And I said, festival industry, I would never recommend anyone to go in the festival industry, okay? I mean, management, I wouldn't recommend either. Believe me, that's hard. But the festival industry is, I can't even describe it. It's so stressful. It's, I would never, ever, ever say to anyone, do this. So I said, no way I'm doing this. There's definitely no way. Anyway, he managed to convince me. And here we are. We started the festival. Now it's going to be 8 years ago, I think. Yeah, 7, 8 years. And we started it in 2016 was our first edition.
Tell us about that first edition.
The first edition, we made it happen between basically 6 people. I don't know how we did that. It was easier in terms of lineup, because since the other festival had already been happening for a long time, we were not new people to the agents. So obviously,
so all the agents know who you are.
Exactly.
You had the credibility to book the artists.
Exactly. Which
but how you
helped a lot.
presented the new idea with the new festival?
Yes. Well, Madrid. The festival that we did before was in Bilbao, and Madrid hadn't had a festival for 15 years. So there was that hole in the market that for us was very important.
Especially because that's a capital city.
Exactly. And it was like the only European capital that didn't have a music festival. So definitely that was there, which was a very important thing. And obviously a city like Madrid not only should have a festival, but should have other types of tourism, because it's a beautiful city. We have sun, we have good food, we have amazing people. It's a very welcoming and warm city. So, Spain in general. So it's something you can explode. Like you can say, hey, let's get this, let's do it, and let's, become a reference. Let's make Madrid become a reference in the world of the music industry. So, that was, Javier's idea, and he had it in mind for a couple of years, and it's been very difficult to make it happen. But
how big it was first time?
The first edition was 35,000 people. Yes, which is good. As I said, it was easier in terms of lineup because the agents...
Who you had performing for the first edition?
We had Neil Young, The Who,
Nice.
Prodigy, I think. I can't even remember now the lineup. We had
Yeah,
so
but
many
like-
bands, but yeah, it was a good lineup. It was a very
And
good
how
lineup.
many stages are working over
And
there?
in the first edition, I think we had like 5 stages.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a sold out. It was a disaster.
Okay.
No, I mean,
tell us more.
yes, no, it was, you know, for the audience, it's like they don't know everything that is happening, you know, indoors. So I think the audience enjoyed it. Not as they are enjoying our last editions,
So
because
it wasn't like a
obviously-
Woodstock Netflix.
No, it was not like a Woodstock, yeah. Even though that was amazing. I saw the documentary and I was like, oh my God, how not to make a festival. But I'm going to tell you a funny story. You've seen the documentary of the Woodstock documentary. So the protagonist, Michael Lang, who was the guy that did,
Woodstock.
he actually came to first Mad Cool. Yes, so he was there. You know, everything was like, oh my God, so many things are not going well. Everyone is so stressed, and he was there. And I remember telling him like, I'm so stressed right now. We have so many issues going, and he was like, oh no, this is great. And I was like, no, this is not great. But you know, I
Yeah,
never
but he
understood.
know what his real issues.
Exactly, I never understood it till I actually saw the documentary like some
Not
months
working.
ago, and I was like, okay, yeah, my festival was great. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was there. I have a book signed by him. Oh my God. Anyway, so it was a bit of it was complicated because it was the first time the festival was happening in the city. It was the first time that, you know, all the related parts like city council, security, ambulances, police, all the things that require to do a festival were having such an event in 15 years. So no one really understood what was happening, you know, or how to deal with all those things.
So it's not about the money, it's about hiring people who don't
Exactly.
have previous experience working
Yeah.
with the festivals.
Yeah, or not even hiring people, because there are many parts of a festival that you can't hire, like ambulances,
Yeah.
police, you know, all those things. But it's the first time that they face such an event. So they don't know the dynamics of it. They don't know how the audience behaves. They don't know, you know, there's fears. There's like, okay, maybe 35,000 people, how are we going to get them? Are they going to be drunk? Are they going to be drugged? It's like, no, you know, festival business is a lot more professional than what you actually think it is. Well, anyway, we managed to do the first edition. It was, I think, overall successful. And what was clear to us after that first edition was that the city was craving for this. So what happened next is that the festival went from 35,000 people to 70,000 people.
Nice.
Which, and actually on the third year, we did 80,000 people, which is something we won't ever do again. That you must know. Yeah, too many people. So,
Do you need sorry to interrupt you. Do you need some licensing thing when you apply for the venue, and then they give you permit how much audience you can have or not?
yes, so every space in Spain is regulated by law. And, you know, so by every X amount of meters, you can have a maximum of X amount of people. So our venue is, well, we are just moving to a new venue now, okay? But
That's why I wanted to ask you as well, in compared to the first edition and the
Yeah.
venue, did you change the venue and how many times? Because for example, also with our friends who are doing Lollapalooza in Berlin,
Yeah.
5 editions, they've been changing the venue every year, which is terrible. It's difficult. Every time you're working from zero.
yes, in our case, so the first year was in a venue that already had some structures created, which was good for a start. But then the audience grew so much that it was just impossible for that venue to work. So then we moved to another venue, which was basically a land
Flat
with
field.
nothing. Okay, like yeah.
No shade?
No, no, nothing, nothing. We just built the entire festival within the land, you know. So it was for us like almost an architectural process, you know. We built a city there. We build it and we take it off.
How much time you need to do that?
1 month and a half, at
Okay,
least.
6, 7 weeks.
Yes, at least. Okay, that's in the best case scenario. With the pandemic, for example, with this last edition, we needed a lot more time because everything has changed so much. But yeah, 1 month and a half, 2 months is what we need to build the entire thing. So we've been in that venue for 5 years, and now we are moving to an even better venue. So
Nice.
yeah, so in our case, it's not something negative, you know. It's not something that we are having to make because we're having problems. It's just that we want to offer the best for the audience, and we really want to build something that is going to be there forever. And I think this is the last venue that we will probably be in, hopefully, you know, in the next at least 10 years, I would say. So yes, it's another land that we have to build from scratch, and right now we are already working on it. So this one, it's going to take like at least 5 or 6 months because we have to do
Because it's the
like,
first time doing
yes,
it.
exactly. And you know, it involves construction work. It involves
What kind of venue
everything.
is now? It's like a flatland?
It's a flat. I mean, part of the construction work actually is to flat the land, you know. So basically the first step.
But you don't have any forest or something around it?
No, we do have trees, but not
Okay.
forests.
Okay.
Because actually Matco is, and it's always been a city festival.
Okay.
So we are 15 kilometers away from the kilometer zero. You can get there by train, metro, bicycle.
Actually, people are sleeping in the city and coming for the festival. Is like that, or you have a campsite for them?
We don't do campsites.
Okay.
Yes, we definitely, that's
So
a
all
decision.
those 75,000 people actually every day going from the city to the festival and back.
Yes, or staying around, because close to the festival you have hotels, you have absolutely everything, which is important for us too, because that means we can make the community part of the profit, you know. We leave according to, you know, like PricewaterhouseCoopers things. The city council sends them every year to our office to make an evaluation of the impact of the festival. So basically, we leave approximately 65 million euros in the city during the 4 days of the festival.
Which is super important.
Which is the most important thing of all, because that means, you know, by not having camping, by not having a lot of things, it means that all those 70,000 people that come to the festival will actually use the services of the city, will stay in the hotels, hostels, Airbnbs, will use taxis, will use Ubers, will use in the restaurants, etc., etc. Plus, of course, planes and all the things. We also have like, out of the 70,000 people, we have a 36% that are foreigners.
Oh, nice. That's
Which
great.
which is a big amount of foreigners coming from 82 different countries,
Great.
which is also amazing. And yeah, so, you know, that's kind of like the summary, I would say.
Nice. Who you have announced for this year?
This year we have Red Hot Chili Peppers, Robbie Williams, Lil Nas, Lizzo, Queens of the Stone Age, Machine Gun Kelly, Liam Gallagher, Prodigy. What? Who doesn't play this year? Yeah. No, there's a lot of things that actually there's a lot of things that are not playing the festival this year. But like Kendrick Lamar is not playing. Blur is not playing.
Yeah, but next year.
We'll see. Yes, no, we have a good lineup. I would say
It's always a good lineup. How you succeed that? And is there any competition, like when you do the lineup, you're doing it, what's your biggest problems to get that lineup? Because like it's top class every year. Like last year you had Metallica, and that's like a best bands on the planet. You know, how you get them to play at your festival?
Well, I would say we are a very good booking team. You know, we
How many people
are
in the booking team?
4 bookers in the festival.
And
So
is it like separate, like someone is doing one stage, someone doing other stage, or
No.
all four doing all stages?
We are kind of like divided by agents, let's say like that. Okay?
Covering by the agencies,
More than agencies, agents, because at the end, as I'm sure you know, Ivan, agents work in a very specific way, which is actually more based in trust/money than any other thing, you know?
Maybe money. Trust.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you know, even sometimes
First money, then trust.
First money, then trust. Yeah, of course. But even sometimes it's true that you know they might have bands that someone else is offering a lot more money.
That's true.
But in the end, if you have a good relationship, meaning like a trustful relationship with that agent, you know, 100K is not going to be a difference for someone to give you the band or give it to another one. So so basically we are divided by agents, even though sometimes, you know, if we have like a crush on a band or whatever, we will for sure work with, you know. So yeah, we have a very good booking team, I would say, but also I think it's all of it, you know. It's the city is very important. The country is very important. The bands want to come to Spain.
That's great.
You know?
Hospitality and everything.
Exactly.
And the audience. I've been to many festivals, and I noticed at some of the festivals you have the artists playing, but how to say, there was no excitement in the audience.
Exactly.
You know? So that's like really important for the artists when they do the tour to see the excitement in the audience, and for the people that really like to see them while they're playing. Then they got inspired as well to do the great gig, you know, on that festival.
Spanish are passionate.
Yeah, they're passionate. They're great.
Yes.
That's great. Also, there's another question I want to: how you find your dates of the festival in order to get proper lineup and proper artists? Do you think that's the best dates, and how you choose those dates?
Well, it's all about routing. When the bands come to Europe, or when they start their European tours, they are within a routing of festivals. So this is definitely the weekend that Portugal and us and some festivals in France can get together, you know, and therefore make better offers, because we, you know, if I want to have whatever Red Hot Chili Peppers, it's not the same that I offer alone than if we offer 3 festivals on the, you know, in the weekend, which makes it easier for the band to want to come to this part of the world. And
to your part of the world. For us,
yes,
it was different, because like when we see the band is going to Spain and Portugal and everything else, like that's the farthest point in Europe for us.
Yes.
And it's not possible to have that artist on the same weekend. It's
you.
like too far.
Exactly, yeah. So if you think about it, and if you analyze it, you're going to see there's a whole routine of festivals. Like first there's Glastonbury, which is like the start of the season. Then I think there's like Best Kept Secret in Holland, then it's probably us, then there's Bircher. So every weekend since mid-June, every weekend till first week of September, there's festivals happening. So that makes it easier, because artists come and do the whole thing, and then they go back home. So it's about finding, you know, the right spot in that routine that you can see.
Actually, for the
global.
agents to make the routing right.
Exactly, yes.
Good.
Exactly, yeah. And we've always had this weekend since the previous festivals. And it's good for us because we partner with Nossa Live in Portugal, which is a very, very nice festival too. And, you know, that makes it easier for us to place offers.
Nice. I need to ask Toka, do we have the video to show now?
Oh.
There's like a show after the movie from Mad Cool Festival.
Let's see. Oh, but don't put the 3 minutes. That's so much. Well, I mean, if you want to see it, I'm fine with it. I've seen it so many times.
Let them see it.
I've seen it so many times that for me, like, it's like, let's see. If I think you can find it on YouTube. Yeah.
So you can be simultaneous translator. But is it like a problem with during the daytime with the too hot weather? Is it like too hot sometimes? Because when it's too hot with us, like no one's coming, you know.
Sorry. So people normally say like, why the agents go like, why are we gonna play at 2 a.m.? And it's like, well, because it's the best time to play. Because we open at 6 p.m., you know, because if we open before that, it's just impossible in Spain. So 6 p.m. is okay because, you know, the temperature is already going down. And then normally it's hot, but it's not like you're going to die. No, it's comfortable. It's comfortably hot. Okay. That's our main stage. Oh, that was Muse. I forgot we had Muse last year, yeah. All day, an amazing show. Yes, exactly, completely. Oh, White Stripe, that was good too. Well, yeah, I'm looking at it and you know what happens to me is, Florence show was the best. I think one of the best shows I've seen in Mad Cool. Not that I get to see too many shows, but it was amazing. What happens to me is that I feel like I haven't lived this, you know, because during the festival it's so crazy for us that I barely remember things. I might even see you there and say hi and forget that I've seen you. So, yes, that was Mad Cool 2023.
Yeah, every year, I guess.
I'm not sure if I can answer that question, basically because I don't get to, in 5 editions that we've done, I think I've seen maybe 4 shows, the most. I haven't seen more. So I don't know if there was like a band that was a failure. I do know when there are bands that are amazing because people end up coming to the dressing rooms or whatever saying, wow, that band, you know, was.
Because here we have a situation that people mostly comment what's bad.
Yeah.
And that's what's good, not what's good. So that's why I'm asking.
I think that happens everywhere, but I do think in Spain, people will go to the festival, or a big amount of the people will go to the festival regardless of who's actually playing. It's just because, you know, of the experience, being there, being part of it. So, they will mostly complain about the lineup when you announce it. So, you know, it's the typical thing like, oh, this band is, where is my band? Why are you not bringing this? Where is Taylor Swift? I don't know, you know, stuff like that. But then once they are on site, they are really having a good time. So, yeah, we don't get much complaints there. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there was a band that no, every band. I think, you know, so when we book bands for the festival, we really book bands that we love. So, and that I think that they have like a quality, minimum quality, you know. So, but I can tell you bands that surprised me. For example, the Struts. The Struts was a band that we actually booked kind of randomly. And then the agent came to the festival and I said, hey, let's go. I'm going to go with you to see your band. And the band was amazing. Like the whole tent was packed. Everyone was, I didn't even know they had so much audience in Spain. That band was super good. The Comedy's Coming was amazing too. I only got to see like 3 or 4 songs, but it was amazing. And then, of course, you know, headliners are always good. But yeah, Florence was incredible.
Ray.
What about Ray?
Ray, you mentioned that nasty rain you had 1 year.
Yes.
When we have rain, it's total disaster. We also, Woodstock 99, we saw that kind of disaster. Do you have crisis PR or strategy for situations like that?
Always. Yeah, we think about that like our marketing communication team definitely thinks about that before going to the
I guess
festival.
you got the procedures and plans,
Yeah,
what's
yeah, we
happening
have-
in a certain
yeah.
showstop procedures and everything
Everything,
else.
exactly. We have showstop procedures, we have terrorism procedures, we have absolutely everything is thought. Not only because we want to think about it, but obviously the city council requires us to have absolutely everything under control. So we need to be, for example, in this new venue, when you plan all the exits, okay, the land where the venue is surrounded by lands that are not ours, that belong to someone else. So, for example, we had a meeting last week actually about this, because we need to plan how people are going to exit to, if there's a crisis happening, because they can't exit to the other lands initially. I can't do that in my security plan because I can't think about what the owners of those lands will allow me to, you know? So we really need to think about like creating extra spaces within our land. So if there's a crisis, people go there and then they can get out somewhere else. Yeah, it's like everything is absolutely planned. It doesn't mean that the plans are going to work though, but but you need to have them planned. Yes, for sure.
I think we are close to the end, so let's see, is there any questions from the
I
audience?
love questions. Please ask questions. No questions? Okay, there's 2 questions.
It's okay, are we using the mic for the audience so they can just shout from the audience? Yeah, they can shout. Okay.
We can shout.
Okay.
I have a question regarding, like, now we're a bit distanced in time from lockdowns and effects that it had. How did it affect the medical festival, and how did medical festival affect aftermath of going back into the industry and going back into the community, etc.?
Well, it affected in so many ways. For us, this 2023 edition you just saw in this beautiful video was the best edition we've ever done for the audience, but in-house was the worst edition ever, because what has happened after the pandemic is people don't want to work anymore.
In the music
In the music industry. Yes, exactly. So we suddenly had to face an event with, first of all, no professionals, because people that were professionals in the music industry didn't have a job for almost 3 years. So those people are not doing different things. They're working for, I don't know, Amazon, you know? So those people don't want to go back to the music industry because they have now discovered they can have a safe life with a salary, you know, and dole and all those kind of things.
And less stress.
It's less stress, and they don't have to be in under 40 degrees being a rigger on a stage. So that was the first main issue we had. So you have an example. We hired 200 stagehands. 200. Only 35 showed up. When you only have 35 showing up at a festival where you have 150 bands, that is a massive issue. We hired...
What did you do in that case?
I was a stagehand in my festival.
sound
You know,
familiar.
like everyone, all the team, we did absolutely everything that we had. We normally have, 1,000 toilets, and they arrive a week before. They arrived 2 days before. And half of them, you know, because the same problem that we have, other industries have it. So basically, you know, the guy that brings the toilets doesn't have enough drivers or doesn't have enough trucks to bring them. So it's like a whole domino chain of impact that we had from COVID. Aside from that, I do think also the mentality of everyone has changed, and I include myself, you know. It has changed in a good way, because there's things that you just won't stand anymore. But at the same time, that makes you less efficient also in many ways, which you can see, you know. Everyone was more tired. Everyone was in a different mindset. And obviously, also, we didn't do a festival for 2 years, almost 3 actually. So
Everyone was out of shape.
yeah, exactly. So everyone was like rusty. You can see that. You can feel it, you know. So yeah. On the other hand, the audience was the best ever. Like, it was an historically emotional moment, I would say. Everyone came to the festival with a complete different vibe of it, everyone was happy, everyone just wanted to be there, wanted to enjoy, and you know that for artists and audience was the best thing. So yeah, it's been impactful in many ways. I mean, I could go on forever and ever, but we would need like 4 hours here. So
Yes, Mina, please.
Maybe I don't need a mic. No, maybe I can
don't
do
have a
it.
mic.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a cable one. So.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations. Two of us were on Mad Cool 2 times in 2019 and last year, and actually it's a great festival for me personally, one of the biggest that I attended. So our first impression was not only millions of stages and millions of people, but the beautiful artificial grass.
yes,
that actually covers the whole venue. And our impression was, okay, this is so clean. You can sit wherever you want, like you are in some kind of beautiful park, you know, with no papers, with no cans and anything. You just sit and enjoy. How do you do that, first of all? How do you maintain it so clean? And another question would be, how big is your marketing team? I mean, regarding the sponsors and is City of Madrid really helping you a lot financially?
so okay, I'll go question by question. Wait, wait, wait. Yes, so the grass, the artificial grass is a great idea. I agree with that. That was Javi's idea. And yeah, and we, you know, at the beginning, we, like, there was this thought in mind about, you know, the festival being kind of green in all senses. So basically, after making a lot of studies and, you know, being like really thinking about it, having natural grass would have meant a less green impact, because if you have natural grass, you need to maintain it, yeah, during the year. So it's not only watering it by chemicals, but blah 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 blah. So we thought, okay, no, fake grass is the option, because, you know, it's going to be cleaner, it's easier to clean, and most of all, we can just buy it and it's reusable, so it's not single use. So that was the initial idea, and then yeah, it does work super good because it's cleaner and you can sit everywhere. Like you, no matter where you are in the festival, you can just sit in the floor and you're gonna be okay with that. How do we keep it clean? With cleaning people. Like, you know, no one really knows it, but once you leave the festival, there's a whole cleaning team that goes out every night and, you know, basically takes everything out. But I must say, though, that since we started charging per cup a couple of years ago, people have become more conscious about the use of that recycled plastic. So it's true that in the last years, I think also that, together with the fact that people really understand that the grass has to be taken care of by them, so they can actually sit down during the festival wherever they want, I think has made our audience a little bit more conscious about being clean also. So yeah, that's how it works. And then the next question was
Support of the government and marketing.
marketing team. We have, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 people in the marketing team.
In the office, yeah?
In the office, and there's 4 in the sponsoring team. It's 2 separate teams.
Yes, yes, yes.
And yeah, so well, marketing and communication is 1 team. Okay, but then if we put marketing and communication, we have, I would say, like 12 people just in that department. Yes, and plus the 4 people from sponsoring. And I think we have a good marketing team. We try to set up the goals and to have a marketing plan for the next 5 years of, you know, where we are, where do we want to be in those
You're
5
targeting
years.
countries where you're
Yes.
presenting and selling tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it starts mostly for us targeting countries. It's the consequence of what we want to do. So it's more about, we sit down and we think about the marketing plan that we want for that year or for the next 5 years, as I said. What are our goals? What do we want to achieve during the next 5 years? Do we want to become a greener festival? Do we want to become a more, whatever, a love brand? Do we want to become, what do we want to become? So we basically establish what we want to become and then, create that whole marketing plan that will lead us to those goals. During the past years, for example, our marketing strategy was probably just to consolidate the brand and to make the world aware of the existence not only of Madrid but of our festival in Madrid. I think we have achieved that somehow. Still a lot to go and to grow, but marketing plans are based on our more emotional side, okay? Then, of course, to achieve that, we need to sell tickets. And to sell tickets, we need to target the rest of the world. And we
you
do.
sold out usually.
We normally sell out, yes. Of course, it depends also, in the headliners that we have and all those things. But normally we do sell out and ticket sales go well. But yeah, and do we have support from the city council? Of course.
What kind of support you have?
It's necessary to have a support of the city council. Not only the city council, because in Madrid you have the city council, but then you also have the regional government. So we for sure need their support, not only in terms of money, but also in terms of resources, As I said, building a festival of 80,000 people in the end is building a city of 4 days.
Yes. Yes.
With all the things that can happen in a city in 4 days. So if you think about it, I don't know how big our cities here, but in Spain, 80,000 people is a lot of people. There's cities that don't have it.
Yeah.
It's a small city. So basically, you need to be prepared in all sorts of ways. As I said before, police, ambulances, hospitals, absolutely everything. So the resources that the city council provides in terms of all those things are extremely important. I would say even more than the money.
Thank you, Cindy. We have time for one more question. Is there
Just
any?
one?
Well, we can continue later, but I think we need to
There's another
leave
panel.
the stage for the
Okay.
next panel.
Okay.
So, is there any question? There's one on the back. Hi.
You said that you started with electronic music, right? And then you have a festival with such huge names like Chili Peppers and, for example, I saw in the lineup Franz Ferdinand and others which are very, very huge. But what do you think? Are people amused when they're coming to a festival more with electronic music or with rock and roll music? It's a huge question for us because we have a huge festival here that was really huge with some rock and roll names, best world's rock and roll names, and today it's more like electronic music, and sometimes we hear that people like electronic music more now, which is or it is not. What do you think?
I think there's people for everything.
Yeah, but I think the question is how you keep the balance between electronic and.
What I really wanted to know is when you're looking at the audience, and there is a huge audience in your festival, what do you think? Are they more amused with rock and roll bands or with electronic music?
Our audience, I would say, if I had to choose, I would probably say our audience is more an audience of bands. Yes, but that's who we want to go to. Every audience has different behaviors, and these behaviors also result in different economic classes or how they spend their money, and this at the end is a business. So our audience, the one that we know it's going to pay 250 euros for a festival initially is an audience that will listen to bands, okay? However, we do have an electronic music stage inside our festival. But I do think that, you know, I would say that stage is part of the eclecticism that we had in our marketing plan. Because we wanted to be an eclectic festival where you can see Metallica or you can see Taylor Swift, okay? So we do have that as a part, as another part of the industry, because it is a very important part of the industry. But it's not our main audience. It's more like the people that consume bands that will also enjoy having a night out with electronic music.
After successful gig of the band.
Exactly. Like, it's more like, okay, I'm going to see Metallica, and at 1 a.m. or at 2 a.m. when they finish, I want to party till 5 a.m. with Richie Houghton. But it's a different kind of crowd. So our main crowd is people that consume bands, for sure.
Live music.
Yeah, live music.
Okay, I think we need to finish now. So please, huge applause for great
Thank
Cindy.
you.
Thank you, Cindy, for coming.
Thank you for inviting.